Tomas, DJ IDeaL. It is so good to see you.
Very wonderful to see you and be on this call with you, interview.
Yes. So we're going to keep it light today. This is, even though this is not like our first video ever, we just did that one with Dees and I for the Black Lives Matter guide, how to be an ally. I wanted a series of, we just had so many awesome people as part of our network, and then you being a board member, I wanted kind of like a meet the members series. And so you are the first for that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I agree. There's some pretty amazing people on the team.
Yes. So please introduce yourself, Tomas.
All right. So my name's Tomas Serrano, but I go by DJ IDeaL. We met going on 10 years or so, right? Back in San Diego, when I was involved in the nightlife scene there.
Green
you know, for me, as a green addict, part of Polka Dot and Real Life Tribe and Giants out of LA. And so, you know, the long story short is I started listening to dance music when I was 8-10 years old and went on to DJing when I was 13-14. My dad bought me my first turntables and I've been DJing this whole time. I tapped into radio, TV work, magazine, trying to be as involved as I possibly could within the dance music spectrum, while finding ways to always try and give back.
You're 18 now, right? You're 18.
Yeah, I'm 18. Yeah,
yeah.
18 twice now.
Yeah.
And you know, it's been quite the investment of my time and life, really, to this whole culture, and I love it. And being able to be a part of EMA has been like, you know, it's that extra notch on top that really feels good to be a part of something like this.
Aw, thank you.
It is. You know, I love it.
I know. You've always been super good, just like the subtle touches that you've put. I started to notice as soon as you became a board member that you put that on your signature line, and I noticed that, and I really appreciated it. And so thank you for just being such a great advocate.
Well, I feel like it means a lot because there isn't that many things like that, you know, of course.
Right. Well, and that was what we were doing, right? And, you know, I had people ask me like, why are we doing this? You know, like people that have been in the industry for a long time. I'm like, they're like, nothing else exists like this. I'm like, I know. And that's why we're going to do it, because we need to.
Yeah.
How we're going to, you know, cover environmentalism, health and safety, you know, advocacy for the scene, you know, are just encouraging the community to play it forward, get involved, and be that bridge of channeling the love from the dance floor back out to the world. And, you know, I'm like, and we're not even going to do everything ourselves. We're going to work with other charities, you know, and organizations, and just like promote.
Yeah, I mean, the eyes have been
too.
on this industry for quite some time. You know, and people are watching to see. We're almost waiting for people to mess up. And if we're there helping others and looking out for each other, then we can set those standards so that things are done right, and we can continue to do things right.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah, anyways, I've just been very impressed by you the whole time. I mean, obviously, that's why we thought you would be a great board member, all the different roles that you've played, and you're a super fun DJ. Also, it's always nice having a great artist on the team as well. But I've just, since moving down here, now that I'm like farm girl, I mean, you might not be able to tell, you know, other people might not understand by the way I'm dressed or anything, but yeah, I don't have my hat on. I just feel like I left, and then you just started like blowing up, like you were going to Mexico, like you're just so much stuff. You're putting out all these tracks. There's just, you had this like surge of creative energy that came out. and I think I know why, I'm like, but it's like you had some shift in your life, and like it opened up this new pathway for you, and
Hmm.
all this
Yeah.
all this new energy came in, and we've been blessed by it because there's been tracks that have come out and videos and parties that you did. And do you want to talk a little bit about like the last four and a half, 5 years?
Yeah, it has been interesting, especially the last three and a half, five. Yeah, like 5 years ago, I was doing remixes for like Elton John with my buddy.
Wow.
Um, that was a trip, but there was something going on that things were like that were happening, and I just wasn't having that umph. Like it was just kind of like getting like I wanted or needed something else. And I ended up partnering up with this guy, Rufio, in San Diego, and we started doing these undergrounds that I helped him reboost the brand and, just give those underground parties a little bit more of structure and guidance. And we really blew them up to be like from 300-person parties to over 1,000. Some of them happened in very obscure locations like the sewers of San Diego. And when you start thinking of like logistics and trying to do something safe when it's very risky, people notice that. People like that. We had Glade scented sewers because I went and bought a bunch of Glade air fresheners and made it smell nice inside of there. And it's like that experience factor that we really like tapped into to make it feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, but it's still safe. It was really cool to do that, musically, I started doing more collabs than I had before. Before, I was only producing with Jaybreak and ran our label, and I started doing more collabs with guys like Susio and Memorex of like Desert Hearts guys and San Diego guys that I feel like had been waiting for their time to really blow up. And it's nice to do collabs like that. And then I met my girlfriend, and who was a singer, DJ, rapper out of here in New York, and we did a track together, Keeper. That was a couple of years ago, and that hit the Billboard charts, the Beatport charts, and got pretty good support. We did a super cool music video for it, and it's that was quite the new experience for me because I thought I was just gonna be doing music solo, like just
Mm-hmm.
on my own and my project and me, and to be able to meet somebody that I could share something like this with, uh, I didn't really expect it. It's been really cool.
I know, it
And
was
now I'm in New
really
York.
sweet. I saw that little love affair happening, from
A lot of people
afar.
did.
Well, like the little pictures, like on
Yeah.
the social media, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, good for Thomas. I thought it was
Thanks.
really
It's
awesome.
been a lot of growth. Definitely a lot of growth through something like that.
Yeah. Well, it's been really exciting to watch the journey, and uh, yeah, I liked what were the undergrounds called? The ones in San Diego?
The brand is called Enter the Tech. The
Yeah, Enter the
party,
Tech.
yeah, and the party that we did, that the one in the sewers, that one actually is an even more interesting story. Like we had built it up to where we knew it was gonna be a really big event. But I guess we marketed a little too publicly or big, or the word just kind of got out a bit more than we expected. And the cops showed up at 8 p.m. as we were setting up sound in the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
And within about an hour or so, I had spoken to somebody about having a backup venue just in case, and it worked out. Thankfully we were able to move our security, our staff, our DJs, our sound, our lasers, everything that was in the sewers. We moved it to that other spot. It went from one area. We ended up booking out the 3 floors. We had over 1,000 people till like 7 in the morning or so, and that's with the party getting busted. Or busted. So I think being prepared was really good, but also the like fun part of how it used to be, where like something gets busted down, and you go, okay, got to go to another checkpoint. Let's see what we can do over here. That's kind of what happened, and all over the word started getting spreading that it was shut down, and then the word started spreading that it was not shut down, and then it was more like, well, where's it going to be? and then it still went off, thankfully.
Wow. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so enter the tech. You did something with Rave Train.
Yeah, Rave Train. Love those guys.
How was that?
So Rave Train, I had just done. We released a track on my label with it was one featuring Snoop Dogg, and they ended up doing a video series that I got to be a part of and perform the track there. I did these cool videos with them. They're very talented with their like very unique type of effects that they do, and that was pretty awesome. And then through them, I also met the AR Project guys out of LA as well, and I ended up filming our music video for a keeper, and they actually do some really cool parties in LA as well, which I was supposed to play at in April, and then all this happened.
I know.
No more party.
If I had gone back to San Diego, I definitely wanted to go to one of the Enter the Tech parties. And if I went back to LA, I was like, I gotta go to Rave Train.
Yeah, Rave Train is a really cool creative project that they came up with. You know, I think they're like 5 seasons in.
Yeah, that's so cool. And then you just did an interview recently with Brian from Dance Music Initiative.
Yeah, that was a bit more extensive, you can say. I've never talked about myself, really. And so he asked some really good questions about just my whole history. I did an hour interview with him. And that interview came off of me doing a 1-hour class for them on DJing with effects and performing with effects as a class. And that was pretty cool. You know, doing the TV thing and the radio and all that, I've started to get more comfortable with my voice and kind of being on camera. But to do a live class, there was a little hesitation on my end. I wasn't sure, you know, can I actually teach something like this? You know, I've taught other friends very limitedly, but it was a really cool challenge, and I got to talk about using the effects on the Pioneer mixer, and something that I've always enjoyed doing more extensively. And I noticed a lot of DJs don't, because they tend to not really know what to do with the mixer, and a lot of tutorials aren't always as open or creative, I feel. And so I just went for it, and it was actually really fun. And we did it for the Make Music Initiative, Make Music Day, and it was awesome. It was a really cool opportunity. Yeah, Brian's a really nice guy.
He's great. I met him. He came. I don't know how it worked out. Somehow he came to our going away party.
Okay.
I'm like, it was like a very last minute thing that we did at our place in LA, and somehow, I mean, he must have known someone that we knew, and he showed up and stayed in contact, and it's been great to see what he's been doing. And I loved the fact that he was working with Make Music Day. Justin, who's one of our ambassadors that was in LA for a long time and started the NoHo Art Walk, which I helped him set up. I got him in touch with Mary, who was the president, and so he could get the permits and do all that. He ended up, I think, moving up north. Maybe he's in Oregon now, but he was doing something with Make Music Day, and I know we like promoted his flyer, but it's like I'm here now, and I didn't really know, like, I didn't have it in me to kind of round people up. And I was excited that like he was doing something separately that we could promote. And the reason why he was even doing was because years ago, right before I did leave, I said, we should really be doing something with Make Music Day. So it was just, I was so excited to find out that you were going to be doing something with Brian, with one of our network charity partners, Dance Music Initiative, for Make Music Day. I'm like, can't get any better than that.
I know. Yeah, it was a really cool, very serendipitous.
Yes. So yeah, thank you for playing it forward in that respect. And
I was very honored.
Yeah, and I'm sure it was awesome. I'm excited to check that out. I'll have to watch it with Ken because it won't mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would
'Cause
love some
I
feedback
would,
there for sure.
yeah, I would want to watch it, but at the same time, it's like I've never, all these years, I've never even stepped up to the hardware and played around. So
Respect to you. You know, many can't say that.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm a dancer, not a
Yeah.
DJ.
No, that's cool. We need more dancers, you know.
Yeah,
Everybody should be dancing.
you should. Gosh, that's so funny about the sewer party though. You know, because we've done so many things with like trash. You know how I've like
Mm-hmm.
over the years
Yeah.
have wanted us to
Mm-hmm.
talk about trash, be responsible. You know, our whole culture is reliant on electronics,
Yeah.
especially. So like, hey, what are we doing with these products when they're at their end life? I was happy to see that Brian, actually from Dance Music Initiative, he has a guide, and I had advised him, like, hey, can you put something in there about the responsible, you know, recycling of the electronics? And so he
Mm-hmm.
did, you know, put a couple links in there. And we've had e-waste drives, and there's just been silly things that I've done personally, like faces of e-waste and trash and ambassador page that I set up before. But yeah, I'm like, I haven't really ever toyed with like the like trashy vibe of like, let's party in a sewer.
Well, we had to clean it. It was quite the experience. My partner told me, he's like, I brought a few other people to check it out to see if they'd be interested, and everybody complains about the trash. And you were just like, let's get in there, let's clean it up. And we had to make it comfortable for the people, but also, I hadn't thought about it until I ran into this, is that there's a whole subculture of people that live in the sewers.
Yes.
And, you have to truly learn to come in and let them know you're going to respect their space while, taking over their space kind of. And it's a little scary for them as well as for us at first, until you establish that relationship with them, because you're coming to somebody's home. As weird as it sounds, like, that's what's happening. And so we cleaned up everywhere that we used. We cleaned it up to the fullest. Like, we were sweeping and mopping and picking up a variety of stuff that ends up down there, and we also got creative with it. And there were enough shopping carts down there that we ended up flipping them over and using some piece of wood that we found there, and we said that was our DJ booth. And it got creative. But when you're hauling down lasers and screens and projectors and all this stuff down there, you got to get creative while still cleaning it up. We definitely didn't leave like any of like the stuff that we brought in. It looked nicer than when we got there.
You're a
sewers.
Leave no trace event.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. We have to be.
Yes. Aw.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that party.
Well, hopefully after this whole present situation we're living through disperses, we will be doing this again.
Yeah. Well, cool. What else? What else is happening in the future with you?
It's been interesting to try and work on music here solo, even though I'm at a studio with everything that's been going on in life, and moving here to New York more stably now. It's been an interesting time. Like, I have tracks that are set to release right now, and that I'm going to be pushing them out to some labels. I've been working on some non-dance music stuff as well, which I'm going to be announcing potentially like in a week or two. But it's really to look at these opportunities that came my way, in which I can hopefully help have nightlife and festival and other type of sanitation solutions, which is something that I never would have thought I would be even coming out of my mouth. But it's really starting a new business to try and help what's going on in the industry right now. Hopefully address certain issues to allow us to party again, dance again, play music for each other again.
Yes.
So we will see about that.
So let's wrap up today. We wanted to keep these on the shorter side for our audience that sometimes, you know, our bandwidth is like a couple tracks. So, great.
Oh, I know.
But I wanted to finish up on voting because I know that you're on more of the advocate side for voting. And I don't know if you know about the initiatives, like Disco Donnie has one,
Yeah.
the Rave Today.
The Rave initiative, right? Yeah.
Rave Today, yeah. And then there's Rave the Vote.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to say anything about like why you think it's important? Because I don't know where people are at. It's like, are we a clean divide? Is it 50-50? I'm not really sure, but it can be a little confusing on Instagram, and I think it's good. I definitely advocate for it. You know, on a local level, I think that, you know, it has a huge impact. I mean, did you see what the guy in Florida said about our culture? He's not an
I didn't.
artist, but he ended up tweeting something just really ridiculous. Like, you know, this is like, I'm really going far with this. This is not what he said, but he was basically like, and EDM culture was made by Satan, and this is why, you know, or he said something about the drugs, like it was made for drugs, and how interesting that the opioid crisis started around the time that they, you know, this culture came to be. And I'm like, and this is why we vote, so that we don't get people like that in office. Like, we don't want that guy.
I
or
agree.
people like that person. It's like, it's super important. Like, you want a party, like, well, let's make sure that the people that are going to be issuing the permits, you know, are directed under somebody that considers us to be just any other kind of nightlife.
Yeah.
It doesn't discriminate. So
no, it's coming in with a purpose. You know, like I'm glad that those initiatives have been coming about, and that through events like Donnie's parties, there can be awareness to it. I find it very odd because I've been and have been a full Bernie supporter since the beginning of it, and I just found it kind of weird that that demographic that was very present, that supported him, our younger generation, that they didn't actually show up to vote. It doesn't quite make sense to me. You know, it doesn't take that long to do it. It doesn't take that long to go show up to a vote and to go to the poll and just get your little sticker and show that you did it. Especially, and hopefully especially, right now, because of what's going on with the pandemic, people will take the time to either do absentee balloting or to get signed up to show that the numbers are going to show it. Because if you look at the statistics, and when you think that almost half the country didn't vote at all, the voice is probably not as proportionate. And the amount of people that are actually going out to vote one way or another, they're not being properly represented because not everybody's voting. And whether it's conspiracy theories or not, for all these other excuses to why not to vote, it also doesn't hurt to just vote. You know? Especially when right now
it doesn't really take that
you don't,
much time,
you
you
don't
guys.
have much to do. I mean, most of that generation right now is probably at home, not doing much. Because we just can't. It's not going to take that long to fill out a little ballot and go vote.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't think that people realize how much money is dumped in to persuade us. You know, I mean, there's all this propaganda, you know, of trying to make us think that it's not important to vote. And there was this documentary called The Great Hack, I think. The Great Hack.
Yeah.
And it had to do with swinging the election by finding people based off of like the surveys that you take on Facebook. So they had 5,000 data points. This is what was said in the film. Cambridge Analytica did on, and they decided that they would take like this middle group of people that they felt were swingable. And and they made very specific, highly charged propaganda pieces, and they were able to sway them in a certain direction.
Yeah.
And I don't think people really grasp that that some of the accounts that they might follow might be dummy accounts that are set up just for that purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's talk about psyops, you know?
No, it is. I mean, it's marketing, you know, and for
Yeah.
what it is, the present leader has known marketing, and
Yeah.
if anything, I would hope that our generations that are dance music culture based would maybe see is that for a lot of those there tends to be a similar moralistic love based faith, you know, and value, and like we're supposed to be about unity and being together, and I feel like that could speak volumes when voting. And
Yes.
even if they don't feel that way, they should be voting too. Like I'm not saying that I'm just advocating for one side, because I definitely don't. I'm more about like what's facts, what's actually statistically able to be spoken on, and what like morals and values stand behind those things. And I really don't like either side, but that's
Yeah.
not on me to say. That has nothing to do with doing the vote. That's where people get to decide.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, we have that option. And I think another thing people don't realize is like, additionally, instead of just online, there's efforts being made so that certain districts, it's going to be really hard for people to vote. And you mentioned the absentee voting, and since I, you know, am out of the country a lot, that would be my option, and that might be called into question this year. I'm not sure that, you know, that the mail system's kind of being attacked right now. There's a lot of, you know, rules going in, and this is nothing new. This is nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same old games that have been going on for a long time. But if voting didn't matter, there wouldn't be so much effort into trying to get new voter ID laws in, you know, trying to do things in certain districts to just make it less available for people to go and show up. 2016 on social media, I would see, you know, I was following certain like Black community accounts, and they would show the lines, you know, the difference. Like, hey, you know, like here's Beverly Hills, and you walk in, you walk out, and then, you know, you go over here to wherever, and like people are waiting in line for like 4 hours.
Underfunded, you know, and understaffed in certain places, or not even available in certain areas. And that in itself is a reason to do the mail-in ballot. The whole medical side of it is to where you're medically not able to. I mean, if you're not going to be able to go vote because you're scared to go get corona, then just do the mail-in ballot, because it'll be a different standard of importance and legality. Like, mail-in ballot is a legal thing. If they decide to move the election to be a mail-in situation, that's actually a completely different story. You know, it's two different cases, and the one that's already standardized is mail-in voting for those reasons. And so if the government tries to set those guidelines, then they can also say that they're fraud, etc. Not if it's already there. And so just fill out the form online and do mail-in ballot. It'll be a lot easier and safer.
Yeah. So don't forget to register to vote and vote.
Yeah, and check out those two initiatives, because they're really, really cool.
Yeah, Rave Today and Rave the Vote.
Yeah.
Well, Tomas, it was so great to see you. Thank you.
You
for
too.
Being our first official, I mean, Dees and I on the Black Lives Matter guide, but this is a different series. This is like meet the members, and she's a member too, but you're our first for this official series. So thank you for being part of that.
Well,
and just
thank you.
Amazing, like this amazing person within our global scene. So
thank you. That means a lot.
And a talented artist. So
thanks.
All right.
Stay posted. Thank you. Much love to you guys.
Okay. Much love to you too. Mwah. Besos.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.